when asked about the Illinois game. It was how we responded on the road and how we were resilient on the road. And then we had to face more adversity with Karras' injury, and they responded again. That tells me a lot about this team, and you know, you only can handle so much of different things, but boy, they came out with great energy, togetherness, and we had a heck of a first half. So, and then it sort of carried us, you know, you got enough to start the second half. That was where you worry, you come out, you're up 20, they could drop to 14 in no time, and then you could be in this game. We got away from them up to 30, and then we didn't play well down the stretch, but that's to be expected. You can't play well for 40 minutes. You'd like to, very rarely happens.
Mark?
What's Karras' injury and how severe?
You know, we don't know all the specifics. I know you'd like me to know specifics, so I don't want to speculate on what we don't know yet. I think in time we'll know more.
Well, the concern is obviously these 2-foot things. The same
Yep.
foot, is it related to?
I think we'll know more. As soon as we start putting things out there, then we'll be talking about things that we don't know yet. So it's his lower left leg. It happened in the Illinois game. You can watch the video.
Chris?
Was it that play when he kind of stepped on his ankle?
Yes, that's correct.
You talk about the way that the offense has allowed Duncan and Zach to really round out their games and see the floor better. The way that
Yeah, I mean, for Zach, I was concerned about Duncan's assist numbers after about 5 or 6 games because he does need the Stauskises and guys like that. Once they could floor the ball and see people, right, that made a big difference for us. And so there were games, and Jordan took a lot of credit for this. After I was, you know, looking over the SMU tape, I had missed a lot of the opportunities. I was looking at more execution and not how open our big men were. And we really have been emphasized since then. Those two did a great job. For those two, when they had 13 assists together, those are two guys who came in as shooters. And now they get 13 assists. That's a large number.
how much of that do you think is the trust in Mark to finish these last few
I think
games?
it's with both. They throw those
Yeah.
same passes to Ricky, right? Just Mark right now is really finishing nice and tight. He has there's a simplicity to his game of putting it in, where some other guys are still having some balance issues. So, and Mitch McGarry was like that early in Mitch's career. Every time he had an easy shot, many times he had an easy shot, it became complicated. Then he got to his leverage and was much better. Mark sort of learned that over time.
In the back on TV with Justin.
Coach, I'd have to imagine that shooting 66% of threes is a coach's dream, but what does it do with this confidence of this team to have a game where it seems to keep?
Well, we came off several games like that, and so, I mean, that's what we don't want to be just that team. We want to give people a lot of different things they have to guard. But when you have 4 people out there that all can shoot the ball, and they're usually all out there. I mean, it's a big first of all, it's a big man's dream because he's in single coverage and he's in leverage a lot. But second of all, they're pretty good. They're becoming a much better passer team, and they're passing the ball where people can really see it. They can see the basket. They have good balance.
Stay right there with Jacob.
I mean, the point is that I didn't really know until right before the game that Karras wasn't going to play. Is there anything you kind of tell them or any kind of different plan of attack that you can convey to them for what you do without Karras in the game?
Well, the players knew yesterday. The media did not know, but they're just doing what they're told. Everybody's zippered up while we figure out what this is. So they were aware he didn't practice the last couple of days while we just tried to treat it and see where it was going.
Is there anything you told them to do differently knowing that Karras wasn't going to
We had to have more energy than we've ever had. We had to have guys just going out there and playing play basketball. You watch how we play through Karras a lot. We weren't going to play through people as much. We had to just play basketball, and we were beautiful at it.
Back over here with Chris.
Let's talk about how Muhammad played in his place, and he made a couple hoops there that kind of stopped the bleeding early, and then another one late that on the reverse layup.
That's 7-0. It didn't look good to start, did it? And it looked like we were obviously missing a very important player. But Muhammad hit a tough 3, and followed by Duncan with a tough 3, and all of a sudden 7-6, and it's all right. And then just Zach has just been gaining more and more confidence every day in his all-around game, which is, once again, came in as a shooter. Now he's more than just a shooter, but that's still a thing that he's got great balance. He's feeling it, really helping us when we had, like you said, that 4th guy out there. 4 guys can score.
And on your right with Kelly.
Things are obviously working on the outside with all the 3 players, but now it's done on the inside. Going to
Well, you know, a lot of our picking, we're not throwing the ball to Mark Donnell and saying, go to work, big fella. He's playing off leverage. And so we found who our team is, and we're trying to put them in schemes that they're comfortable at seeing them. You can run a lot of things, right? But they gotta be comfortable, and some of our guys can make certain passes, some can't. So we scheme and try and figure out, all right, how can we get this guy in this position and get Mark where it's an easy basket? Because he isn't complicating things. He's nice and tight to the rim. He's not trying to dunk things. He's just doing a really good job with it.
Right here, Tony.
Coach, what did you see from Derek early on? He looked a little
Yeah,
flustered,
I think sometimes what happens to players when they lose their other backcourt, either they're trying to do too much, or they're trying to they lose some confidence early. And so that's why we sat him, and Andrew Dockage just did a wonderful job. We went ahead during that time. So, you know, just one of those games where he had some spurts. He made 2 huge threes, right, in the second half and the first half. And he had 3 assists. Unfortunately, he turned the ball over, which is not like him. And he'd probably be pressing a little bit more, knowing that his running mate, his really good friend, was not here.
And with Dockage, Brendan asked this question to a couple of the players, but what does he do? I mean, that we don't see, you know, on the stat sheet.
Well, one of the things is his energy that he brings to the team. He is a true point guard. He sees the floor really well. And now, when you're on the scout team, what I think I've learned is that when you're on the scout team, usually we give the team more than 30 seconds. We got to guard them all 30. And they don't get pressed, and he can have a lot of time to do things. Now, when that clock is clicking, he's got to be able to get into our action quicker. But he does say he's gotten incrementally better every single day that he's been here. And that's an important part for us going forward, that we have that type of backup at the point guard.
Mark?
Threes came easily, but it seemed like Duncan kind of changed the game for those 3 in a row. Is that something that even though he just gets those 3 and doesn't get any more, he's that weapon where in that moment he can change the flow?
Yeah, how is Mark now getting open? Is we're putting Duncan in situations where the typical help guy would be helping out Mark, but he's not going to help off Duncan. So we continue to try and put Duncan in situations where, you know, he's going to see single coverage, he's going to see deny, but he puts Mark with leverage. So that's what we've been scheming. As I said earlier, we're trying to figure this thing out. Where's the best play? But we had to see what can Aubrey do, what can Zach do. Zach was struggling for a while. So it is. Hopefully we'll keep putting it together. But I think the key to all this, guys, is our defense. I mean, while this team isn't a great offensive team, they're a good offensive team. They went out to Colorado, lost by 1 point, right? There was another very, very close game. They played a really good team, and they can score points. And our defense is getting better and better every day. Zach's bought in. Derek did not have a good offensive game. Derek had a great defensive game on Shep Garner, who was hit 8 threes against Boston College in their win at Boston College. So that's been a key.
We'll go to Chris and then to Brendan.
I was going to say Penn State had been playing good ball coming in, and Pat kind of said he felt like he ran into a buzzsaw. Do you feel like you're starting to really peak to the point where?
Well, I thought after the Illinois game, I really saw some good things out there when they made a couple runs at us and we kept getting away, and saw what Mark was doing there, which we've been seeing. But then, obviously, with the injury, then I wasn't sure what we'd see today. But that was good, and that gives everybody a little bit of a step-up time right now that we're not just one-dimensional. We can do different things. So hopefully that can continue, but it's not going to continue unless we just play great defense.
Brendan?
You say you want to get more information on Harris and whatnot. What is the plan for him for this week?
Just rehab and evaluate, and see where it is, what is going on. So that's the whole plan. So that's what we've been doing the last 2 days. And then yesterday, we decided he wasn't going to play just because of the fact that he had practiced, right? And so we said, let's go. Let's based on what happened last year, we're trying to be cautious. But rehab, evaluate.
Has he had an X-ray?
He's had all kinds of information coming his way.
And when you mentioned the defense and how much better it is, why would it be better going against a team, obviously a big challenge in Purdue coming up that's kind of similar physically, size-wise, things like that, to other games you lost? Why would the defense be different in this game?
hopefully, we're not getting beat off the bounce like we were in some games, and then just like SMU, or beat off the pass too, like SMU and Connecticut, where everybody's in help coverage and they're just laying it in. But that will be a big issue. That will be a big issue. I'm sure we had a sellout crowd here tonight. We'll probably have a sellout at Purdue, and that place will be rocking and rolling, and they do what we don't do well. They rebound. So we got our challenges, and we have to find a way to balance what they do well with what we do.
All right, Coach, thank you.
All right, thank you.